I mentioned about the role of the government. I personally feel that the government's dream should be to have a regulation where people even forget about its existence. How do we breathe? We don't breathe consciously. The system is so attuned to it that we keep breathing. You can do any other activity and you will not forget to breathe. I think that is what we need to do in the government, because this is a sector where technology is moving so fast that anybody who thinks that he can keep pace with technology is actually mistaken. I'm saying in regulatory word, in the government. The government cannot keep pace with the technology. The government should therefore see how do you enable the industry to perform without any hindrance, to adopt new technologies, to work on them, and make it easy for the industry to do that. And I think, therefore, the great challenge for the government is to regulate without being seen as regulating, to regulate without in any way, I would say soft touch is too hard. Soft touch regulation is too hard. It should be regulation which people do not have to feel. And the second most important thing I would say is predictability. I'm sure many friends here would not be happy when I say that the price of a spectrum is immaterial. But I do honestly believe that important thing is predictability. You should know how you would get all the necessary resources, what the regulation is going to be, and it should be an even playing field. If the playing field is not even, if it gives somebody an advantage which the others are denied, then there is a problem. So I think the regulation, this is what the government has to do. The government has to have a long-term roadmap so that everybody knows what is going to happen 5 years from now, what is going to happen 10 years from now, what is going to happen 20 years from now. You need a spectrum. How do you get this spectrum? And there should be no change. This whole thing, people looking up to the industry, looking up to the government to find out, okay, what is the thinking in the government now? That should go. Only when that happens, and I think we are moving in this direction. I would say there is a lot more regulatory clarity now that we have kind of more or less established that is going to be done through auction. Once people know that this is the way you acquire spectrum, once you know that this is the way the other regulatory aspects are going to be handled by the government, I think it would then be possible for the government to minimize those regulations, to withdraw. As I was saying, that eventually it should be possible for the industry to really flourish on the strength of dreams, that they have the power to dream and they have the power to execute. And I have the best wishes for this industry. I have a great attachment. I have spent very little time, but it had exuded so much of energy, and I have very rarely found in any job that some officer is so much challenged intellectually about the impact of every decision that he makes and how he has to think hard. What will happen if I do this? What will happen if I do that? So I love this industry. I love it, and I wish you all the best. And I must say that Voice and Data are doing a phenomenally good job in encouraging people and giving them those, incentive to dream and dream big. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words, and thanks for sharing your perspective on what will empower the telecom industry. I would request you to stay on stage to present the jury awards. And I would also request Mr. Pradeep Gupta of Cyber Media and Mr. Sanjay Kaul from Cisco to join Mr. Farooqi. So the first jury award of the evening, Voice and Data CIO of the year 2014. It goes to Ms. Alpana Doshi. Ms. Doshi is the Chief Information Officer of Reliance Communications and the CEO of Reliance Tech Services. the IT organization of one of India's leading integrated telecom company. Alpana, with over 2 decades of experience in information, communication, and entertainment industries, drives key IT transformational initiatives to support business growth for Reliance. She is well known for her skilled execution, turning around companies, and thought leadership. She has successfully led major initiatives at telcos, first at Verizon, now at Reliance, apart from leadership roles as system integrators and suppliers, such as Telecordia Technology and Mahindra Satyam, and management and strategy consulting firm Deloitte. And I would request Alpana to say a few words on this. There's a podium on your right.
Good evening, everyone. I would first of all thank all of Voice and Data and all the organizers, sponsors, and honorary members here who have spent so much time and energy, and definitely the jury members for taking so much effort in order to go through, I'm sure, multiple number of people who they think are so deserving of dreaming. And what Mr. Farooqi said very well, idea is to make sure in India we create wonders, and I'm sure rest of it will fall in place. And I'm extremely thankful to my own management, Reliance Communications and Reliance Group, for allowing us to do certain things as entrepreneurs and making sure that every little bit of Make in India actually comes true. In the IT organization that I head and as CIO, I find that our biggest resources are our people. And when you are able to get the maximum from your people, make sure that we are able to give them back what they really need when they are thinking through innovations and energizing themselves day in, day out. And even if it is lights on operations, I think there is a different way to do every bit of that as well. And innovation should not be considered as a dream word. It is something that happens today, that happens every moment of our lives. If you only think about it from a perspective of bringing in a change in the same thing that you are trying to do. So when we talk about in India, and operators in particular, I would say that mobile applications is the way forward that we all need to move towards in terms of bringing the convenience to the consumers. So again, I thank you significantly for giving me this opportunity, and all the best to everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alpana, and a big round of applause to the first jury award winner of the evening. So the next award in this category is Voice and Data CEO of the Year 2014. It goes to Mr. Vishant Vora, Director Technology at Vodafone India, one of the leading telecommunication service providers in the country. So Vishant has spent over 2 decades in mobile telecoms, spanning 3 continents, US, Europe, and Asia. Since 2000, he has worked with Vodafone in Romania before moving to India in 2010 in this role of Director Technology. As a member of top management, he plays a strategic role in the technology and network infrastructure for the company in India. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Vishant Vora, the Voice and Data CTO of the year 2014. He has led the biggest expansion of Vodafone's 3G and 2G network in India till date. And he also launched the new M-Pesa 2.0 platform in record time. Congratulations, Mr. Vora. Speech from you.
So, good evening. First of all, I want to thank the jury and the Voice and Data for this recognition, which is a very proud moment for me and my team, because I actually stand up here taking an award for a lot of the work and the innovation that my team has actually put in. In Vodafone, we focus a lot on the customer experience and the network quality and building the economies of scale and scope. So actually, a lot of the things that we had done this year were around building the economies of scope, and I was very, very pleased to hear that word here today. Whether it is the launch of our M-Commerce platform, which was a really collaborative effort between my network and the IT teams, or delivering a service delivery platform, which was really creating APIs and capabilities for app developers to use our networks and IT capabilities to create new business models, or actually deployment of the self-organizing networks that we had done, we've done this year. It was all, when I look back at it, I was thinking that it was really all about kind of creating, extending capabilities of our business so we can actually expand into some of the adjacent territories. So that's what we have done this year, and we'll continue to do going forward. Once again, thank you very much for this award, and I will definitely tell my team the economies of scope part as a very, very succinct way to actually describe what we are doing. Thank you.
So the next award, the next jury award for Voice and Data Lifetime Contribution Award. This goes to Mr. T.V. Ramachandran. And TVR, as he's fondly known, is passionately devoted to the cause of mobile communications and has led the industry successfully through several challenges. He has been intimately involved with aspects like policy, licensing, regulatory, interconnection, etc., relating to cellular mobile telephony service, and has made contributions in the comprehensive growth of the entire industry. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the award for lifetime contribution, and it is not possible for me to highlight all that he has done to further the cause of telecom in India. So big round of applause to TVR, the former Resident Director, Regulatory Affairs and Government Regulations at Vodafone, Director General COI, first CEO of India's earliest cellular operator, SR Telephone, first Chairman of the Indian chapter of the GSMA, ex-Chairman of ITU Regional Working Group, current Chairman of ASSOCHAM National Council on Telecommunications Convergence, and a present co-chairman of the Telecom Sector Committee of European Business Group in India. So Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, please put your hands together for the recipient of the Lifetime Contribution Award for 2014. And a few words from TVR. Congratulations, sir. So can we have a speech from you?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Farooqi, Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Mr. Sanjay, all the management of Voice and Data, the jury. I mean, I'm speechless almost, and but I've got to say a few words. You have to bear with me, lest I don't forget what all I need to acknowledge. At the outset, I have to acknowledge a great amazement. I'm surprised that I receive an award for something I have loved doing. It's 21 years now in the sector. I started as a business head of